Let's introduce you to Burak Sakir Seker. He's an associate professor of international relations at Ankara Hacı Bayram Veli University. He's also a retired lieutenant with the Turkish Navy. A very warm welcome to Al Jazeera. So let me start by asking you this. How serious is this situation in the Black Sea for commercial vessels? Clearly, President Erdogan is worried.
Thank you. To truly understand the rising tensions we are seeing this week, it's important to look beyond the immediate headlines. What we are witnessing is a fundamental strategic shift in the conflict. For the first few years, the dynamic in the Black Sea was primarily military, but recently, and specifically with the events of this week, the focus has broadened. We are now seeing a systematic effort by Ukraine to address the economic logistics that sustain the Russian war effort. The incident on December 10th involving the tanker Dashin near Novosibirsk is a clear indicator of this new phase. It follows similar instance in late November involving the Kairos and the Virat, and another incident in Caspian Sea, a rig. The target here is very specific. These are not the standard commercial vessels, but what analysts call the shadow fleet. These are the aging ships, often uninsured, used to bypass international sanctions. So Ukraine is signaling that transporting Russian energy now carries a significantly higher level of risk. This leads to the critical question regarding safety. We must make a very sharp distinction between two types of vessels operating in the Black Sea. For legitimate international commercial shipping, the physical danger remains relatively low. However, for that shadow fleet, the situation is critical. The strikes we saw this week prove that these ships are now active targets. So the sea is dangerous, but specifically for those who are fueling the Russian war economy.
I mean, sorry. Let me jump in there because a city like Istanbul straddles one of the most busy shipping lanes in the world. You know, the country of Turkey as a whole is dependent upon its maritime waters being safe and secure. But what about the impact of the drone attacks on international trade and energy transportation in the Black Sea? I appreciate that the so-called shadow fleet may be seen as legitimate targets by Ukraine, but nevertheless, this is a busy part of the world. The waters are extremely busy there.
You are exactly right. The broader impact actually on international trade and less about physical blockage, more about financial friction. So we are seeing a new form of economic warfare. And when a drone strikes a tanker like a Dashin, it sends shockwave through the insurance markets, for instance. The war risk premiums for the region have climbed significantly this month. This acts as a risk task on Russian exports. It forces Moscow to absorb these costs or risk losing buyers. So, while the physical flow of goods continues, the profitability of that trade is being systematically strangled. Of course, when it comes to the Turkish straits, Istanbul and Çanakkale straits, this strategy carries immense risk for this region, Turkey. So Turkey has warned that attacks near its waters constitute a red line. For Ankara, security and economics are impossible to separate. From a security perspective, for instance, an attack in or near Turkish territorial waters could drag a NATO.
Well, let me ask you that, Burak Sakir Seker. Let me ask you that because Turkey, as you've said, I mean, as a member of NATO, it's warned that any attacks on its commercial vessels near Turkey's waters was a red line. I mean, how far would Turkey go in protecting its maritime waters from potential security threats?
Actually, this is a case for all region, not only for Turkey, but for all region. And in addition to the global security, when it comes to challenge between NATO members and the and Russian Federation, and plus Ukraine issue. So this brings us to the diplomatic channel. Just yesterday on Friday,